More You Talk now.
Katie here, and we're just wandering around WonderCon, and I came upon a booth that I really liked, and I think you guys will find fascinating. So we're talking to Mike Mottola, and you're not a comic book artist, but you do something different that we really like. Can you tell us a little bit about what you do?
Absolutely. I handwrite out full movie scripts and albums to create portraits of the people. And it's something very different, and it's something that there's so much great talent here at WonderCon that you really, really, really have to work hard to stand out, you know? And so back in the day, it turned out it was a gift for a friend of mine for her birthday. And then from there, a couple of friends of mine were like, oh my God, that's so great. Can you make me one? And I was like, yeah, sure. And then that just snowballed into what I have now today.
Yeah, it's really cool. So you said it's of the people. So our audience, in case they don't know, it's of the songwriters or the movie or the character that you make the drawing of the lyrics out of.
So I would handwrite out the full script to Ghostbusters, and it would be the three main characters. Or I handwrote out the entire script to Pulp Fiction, and it's of Jules and Vince, you know, with their arms up in the iconic pose. I try to take those iconic images that everyone knows and then use the writing to make that up, you know? Kind of like a folds in on itself, an inception of movie making and albums and such.
It's very cool. We walked by and we saw the photos, and then we looked closer and we're like, wow, it's like writing that makes the photo. And that's what like really attracted us to like your work, because it's so different and like really stands out. So you're definitely doing a good job of standing out at WonderCon.
Yeah, I call that the aha moment. When it's the best thing where I get to sit here and I watch people kind of walk by and they'll look, and I can see in their faces like, oh, Boondock Saints. Oh, I've seen that before. And then they kind of stop. They're like, but that looks weird. Why does that look weird? And they get a little closer. And they're like, oh, was that right? It's a type? Right? And then they get really close, and then they just, oh my God, oh. And then they look at me, and then they look at the print, and they go, are you insane?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know, maybe? Should I know? I don't know. And people say, well, yeah, that's the aha moment that I've
Yes, and those are always cool to have.
Yes, that's what you're going for when you're at these shows, you know?
Yeah. Now, how long does it take you to do, like, one piece? Because it's so little and just so, like, do you outline it first, kind of like where you're going to have the characters and then how you're writing it?
So I map out kind of what I want to do beforehand, and I put it underneath a piece of, like, drafting paper so I can kind of see where to write and where to not write. And after that, I just have a normal Pilot G2 pen, and I write. And that's it. And just keep the line straight and nice and small. And it takes anywhere from like 10 working hours for a smaller piece to up to 6 months.
Wow.
That was my longest. I did the entire script to My Neighbor Totoro, a Japanese Studio Ghibli film, in the original Japanese. And that's the one that took me about 5 to 6 months, because I don't speak Japanese.
So you had to research
so I really had to transcribe, and it was just, I wanted to challenge myself. After I did a bunch of prints, I was just thinking, what's the hardest thing I can think of to do? What's the next mountain to climb? I was like, a different language. What language? Japanese. All right, let's do this. Yeah. It's like one of my favorite ones, you know?
Really cool. Now, do you ever do you ever get one done like perfectly the first time, or does it take you a lot to just do one?
People always ask, like, do you make mistakes? I'm like, yeah, I make mistakes. If I want it to be perfect, I do it on the computer. And I just keep pushing on. Usually if I can get about an inch down and I'm happy with it, I won't start over. I'll just keep muscling on. But sometimes if I'll do it for a little bit, and I'm like, I just don't.
You don't like
it's less. I don't know. It's less about how it looks and more about like how I feel. Like, I'm in the groove. Okay, I'm going. Let's do this. You know, because I'll sit down and maybe do these in 4 to 6 hour chunks. Is kind of my work time. I just have to put like earbuds in. I put earbuds in and I listen to rain sounds to distract one part of my brain so the other part can do this. I don't know, it's a really weird process. Yeah, and I take breaks in between. But yeah, all right.
That's very cool.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Letting us interview you.
Absolutely, yeah.
Hope it goes well for you this weekend.
Oh, I love WonderCon. Yeah, you can find all my stuff at linebylineposters.com. Yeah, and you can follow me on all the things, Twitter, Instagram, what have you, at Mike Mottola, Matola.
Very cool.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
This is You Talk Radio.